So if you look at SB10 size, hold on. So now let me explain this from so right, this is three things. Remember you do top-down analysis first. Your top-down analysis first of all. Then you don't if you don't see anything on the higher time frames, then you know obviously how to move and trade on the lower time frame. Now, lower time frame, I can't really see anything. Obviously, these are not trend. We know that the market is trending up on the higher time frame. Okay, so market is trending up on the higher time frame. We are trying to look for a range to trade inside, and we can't really see that on the 4 hour and the daily time frame. So we move down to the 1 hour time frame to see what is happening. Remember, I said you trade the current price action. Okay, you trade the current price action to see what's happening. So same thing on the 1 hour meeting. Actually, the 15 minutes. So now on 15 minutes, we can see that we are bearish right now. On the lower time frame, market was bullish previously, but now market is making series of lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? So we are obviously bearish on the lower time frame. So which means on the lower time frame, we are going to take sell entry with confirmation to the downside. Okay, so we're going to look for those SBIs on the lower time frame, right? So um, I can't really see anything clear here on this 5 minutes. There's nothing clear, right? So which means I'm going to go to another chart. So you can see how quickly I will just analyze and see what's going to happen next. So start from the okay. Is everyone following? Is everyone following? Please, you can chat in the
Yes.
chat. You can chat in the chat box if you can't speak. All right. Now on the daily time frame, they're obviously very bearish on retail index. A layman should not even tell you. You should see obviously that we're bearish, right? If you just take your trend line, you can see that the market has been bearish for a while on V10, right? From the daily time frame, market has been bearish, okay? So now we are going to obviously look for the SBI, but we can't see any SBI here, which is clear to trade. So what do we do? We go down. Let's check the 4 hour. Just go down into your time frames to check for a valid area. So you don't see it, then keep on going lower and lower to look for something to trade the current price action, right? So now the 1 hour, let's see. Can you guys hear me? Am I audible? Uh, have the range, right? So remember I said markets moves from the internal liquidity to the external liquidity. Okay. So now we have something like this. Now we go down to your 5 minutes time frame. So what I'm going to be looking at on our 5 minutes time frame. Remember I said market does not even need to tap your POI. Once market has shaped your structural liquidity, remember sometimes market can do something like this now. Market can do something like this. Give you some weak this thing and start falling. So here you can start looking forward yourself as long as what or
Hmm? Hmm? Mm-mm. 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 Where you go?
can you guys hear me? Hold on. So can you guys hear me please?
Yes, we can hear you.
But have you been hearing me since? Have you been hearing me since?
Yes, I've been hearing you since. Oh.
Yes, I've been hearing you.
Since, so I don't know what the issue is. So now that is for that, right? You can see how I was able to analyze this quickly. You start from the higher time frame before you get to the lower time frame. If you don't see anything on the higher time frame, you then go to the lower time frame to spot it, right? So this will be so everything is top down. Right? Start from your higher time frame down to your lower time frame. This is the daily time frame. Yes. We are currently bullish, right? You can see it very clearly. Currently bullish on this market. And what we're looking for is obviously so this is how we should be doing analysis. Okay, we are currently bearish on the 1 hour time frame. Let's check the 15 minutes. Okay, so you can see that on the 15 minutes, same setup here. Let's check the 5 minutes. questions before I continue? Before I continue, any questions? Any questions? All right. Hello.
Yes, I have question. Hello.
I hear anything.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, my question is on recently on your was it Jump 25 trade? You know that type 1 measurement, you did a refinement on how to measure it.
Okay.
But when I went to my chart to measure it, it wasn't, you did not use the refinement method to measure that type 1 for your
Okay, back
recent.
to that. Back to that. I'll get the chat, then I'll show you that. But for now, I don't think I can get the chat. But when I get the chat, I
Uh,
will be able to show you what happened there. Now,
okay.
this is V25. This is V25 index. Abolish. So yeah, any other questions? Any questions? Any other questions? Any questions from anyone? So market structure. At the end of the day, it's on market structure. There's nothing that says. I can see. Let me see. Let me see this. Let me see this. Let me see this. Okay, I see a sweep of this. I see a variable breaker structure. We can take this from here to this place here. So we can see that obviously this is the overall breaker structure as explained in the last class. Right? This is the load I was looking. This is the overall load, right? So this was obviously the sweep. Right? Remember I said if you have an internal sweep, the breaker structure is going to be what? The lowest low, right, which is this low, right? So this is the overall break of structure here, right? And this is the sweep, right? So you take the Fibonacci from this, right? This high, you take it from where? This high for refinement to this low. Okay, then what do you see here? You can see that obvious. Okay, you can see that there's no setup here. Why? Because this structural liquidity, right? There's a value structural liquidity here above the 80%. You can take this from here, so you can see it has been set already. Can you see this? That this has been set already, and it has had gotten its expansion already. So remember that I said that once price shifts out the structural liquidity, it doesn't need to have a PY. Now, why did I say that? For instance, now this should have been your PY here. This should have been your PY here. Your PY would have been, let's say you use this other block here as a point of interest. But you can see that it just swept out the structural liquidity and started selling. Okay. Now you can see that after this, we have this here, we have a ship here. You can see obviously there's no setup currently. I don't really see a setup currently here. Let's check the 1 hour time frame. So it's all about time frames, right? If you can navigate through the time frames, there's no problem here. It's all about time frames. 15 minutes, let's see. We are bearish on the 15 minutes time frame. Let's show the 5 minutes time frame to see for setups. On the 5 minutes time frame, we have this Ohio breaker structure here, right? We have the structural liquidity here. Boom. So you can see that this is obviously where price is reacting from, right? And this is where price is likely to go to this low. And you can see this is a choppy price action. here. So it's a traffic price action, but this is currently what is happening on V30s. So we might expect an expansion here. Why? Because we already got the confirmation that sellers are in the market here. So obviously, if I was taking this trade, I would have taken probably some here, right? But price is just consolidating currently, but this is where obviously the price it head to. According to the current price action, we are bearish on the market. Okay, so that's just the point. Basically, it's just about understanding analysis, trend, current trend, break of structure, overall break of structure, price action, confirmation entry. Okay, that's just basically it, right? So let me just do some few examples again. Let me do some few examples again. So this is P50S on the daily time frames. For the daily, I can see there's no setup on the daily currently. Let's go to the 4 hours. So this is the 4 hour time frame. Okay, I can see a high here. I can see, I can't really see anything right now. Let's check the 1 hour. So, I'm bullish on the 1 hour time frame. You can see we have this here, the shape of liquidity here. So let's validate this low. Take it from us, this high, this low to the break of structure. So it hasn't broken structure yet. Okay, but once price takes out this high, we've gotten a break of structure. So this is going to be what's the structural liquidity, which we are going to be what's looking for price to take out. Now remember, it's not every time price takes out structural liquidity, right? But we're going to be what reactive with the market. We're going to be patient with the market to see what's happening. Not saying that we can still take buy entries, right? But we have to be reactive. Okay. So right now we are still going to be looking for buy entries on the lower time frame because of what it hasn't broken the structure here. Do you get? All right. So meaning that we are still waiting for what this break of structure to happen. We're waiting for what this high to be taken out currently for us to have our structure, which is a safety break inducement, right? So if you go down to the lower time frame, your 5 minutes, for instance, see that we're bullish, right? We are bullish to take out this high before we have the structure. So now, with that in mind, we can then look for buy setups on the lower time frame, meaning that if you get a buy SBI, for instance, let's use here, for instance, we had a sweep, right? We had a sweep of this low, right? So we had a sweep of this low. We had a break of structure. Now, for instance, if you take this from here to here, so we're going to be waiting to see if price does something like this now. If price, does whatever, comes down, gives us something like this again, then what we're going to be waiting for is for price to then give us the structure which we're looking for. Can be type 1, can be type 2, right? Something like this. Then once price comes here and gives me a confirmation, then boom, I can decide to even hold this buy. It takes out this high, or I can decide to hold it to the ERL of the 5 minutes, right? Meaning that if price gives us something like this, I'm going to be doing what, expecting this to happen. It gives me my confirmation, then I get in the markets, right? I can hold it to this red line, or I can hold it towards this external range liquidity here. I can hold it to this external range liquidity here. All right. So are you guys following, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so I can try to hold it to the external liquidity. So all this thing is just patience. It's not, there's no truth about it. There's nothing to be confused. It's just the same thing every day. Like I always say, the same thing, patience every day. Let's check another example. P50, P50 index. So first of all, identify the trend. Now, what we see right now is, I think I marked this out on my other chart. I'm looking out for a buy here, right? I'm looking out for a buy here. So if you look at this position here, you see that there's been a structural liquidity. Please hold on. Hold on, please. Give me a second. Minutes. I marked this out on 10 minutes. I think on one of my charts, I marked this out on the 10 minutes. I was looking to see if what price will do. Obviously, price has obviously given me a confirmation here. This is the confirmation that price has given me. Now, if you look at this, my other block here, price just tapped here and gave me a very strong bullish listing. Now, obviously, I'm going to take this trade, right? With confirmation, I got my confirmation here. So this is where I would have obviously entered. Stop loss below this low. Now I'm going to be targeting this high here. Now remember I said when taking all these deep loss setups, these are basically 50-50 trades. Why? Because you're not trading the higher time frame. You're just trading to see if markets will go in your favor, right? So it's like a 50-50 kind of thing. But what will save you at the end of the day is your risk reward. If you take 10 trades, right? If you take 10 trades, you win 6 and you lose 4. Or let's say you win 4 and you lose 6. You're still price is already doing something. So I'm just going to be patient and see what price does well. I have it in my 10 minute time frame. Look at now, confirmation has been gotten. This is the sweep. It's just the same thing. There's no two ways about it. Look at this sweep here, right? Why is it a sweep? Because that's a structural liquidity. Okay, you can see that we had a sweep of this low, break of structure. This is a structural liquidity here that price sheds. It gave us the expansion to the upside here, right? To take out this structural, to take out this high. So after this, you have a new sweep break. This is a type 2 inducements here. So market gave us a confirmation here. So this is obviously trade. So this is obviously what I wanted to look for, and I've seen it. So yes, are you guys following me? Are you guys hearing me? Come on, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
I don't know if you guys are hearing me. You can meet. You can meet your.
Yes, can hear you. Although your this thing is fluctuating.
Let me see if I can hear you. You can speak again. I don't know what's the issue with
Yeah,
it.
can hear you.
Yes,
Can hear
yes,
you.
yes. I don't know what the issue with it. Okay, okay. So we are back now. So yeah, I'm going to risk on this setup. this trade on the 50s. Why am I risking? Because on the 5 minutes time frame, I can obviously see that price taps into my point of interest and gave me the confirmation I'm looking for. This confirmation here was a bullish engulfing, so I'm obviously going to risk on this kind of trade. Okay, so you guys can see this is what I'm going to risk on. Remember, I said B plus is a 50-50 setup, so you don't know if it's going to hold or not. So you're just risking it. Okay, if you guys are following, then yeah. So now this is V50. Let me check V75s. Let me check V75s. Now on the V75s, on the 5 minutes time frame, you can obviously see that we are obviously bearish, right? You can see it. Even if you go down to the 1 hour time frame, a plain man or a layman can see that on the this time we are obviously we are bearish. Okay, so now let me go down to the higher time frame first of all. Let me see what's happening. So this is let's check the 1 hour time frame. What is happening? Okay. Let's check 30 minutes time frame. So remember I said if you can't spot anything on the higher time frame, you look at the current trend, right, of the market on the lower time frame, right? Current trend, even on the 30 minutes, you can see that the market is what bearish. Why? If you take your trend line, you can see the slope from the market. It's currently bearish, okay, on the 30 minutes time frame. Going down into your 5 minutes, for instance, right? You're going to be looking forwards those SBI sell setups to take with what confirmation, okay? All right, looking for those setups taking confirmation. Now, I can always see what I can see a type.
Tyler, I have a question. No?
Please let me finish first, please. I can see a type 2 setup here.
Hello?
I can see a type 2 setup here. Here. Now,
Hello?
what I'm going to be looking for here. Let me finish first. Please. Let me finish. So this obviously is setup I'm looking for. Alright. So now let me see. Has this been swept? Has this high been swept? Let's validate this. I don't think this is valid. I don't think this is valid. Has this high been swept? Okay, I think it has been. Has it been swept? Okay, this is valid. Alright, this is a valid sweep. This is a valid sweep here. Alright. You see it's a valid sweep here. So this is also a possible setup again is confirmation. Remember, B plus is confirmation trades, right? B plus are confirmation trades basically. So you have to wait for a confirmation before you enter. Like the same exact trade on the V50 that I just analyzed here, V50, you basically wait for some kind of confirmation before you took. So I also saw a confirmation the 5 minutes time frame on P50 index, which I obviously said I was going to take. So I don't know who else took that, but it's just a trade I'm willing to risk. It's a trade I'm willing to risk on because it's just a very, fits all the criteria basically. So someone wanted to ask a question. Who is that? Who is that? I wanted to ask a question.
Okay. Tyler,
Uh,
can you hear me? Hello? What? No, you hear me. Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you. Ask your question.
Okay. My question is, for example, now you don't see your buyers on your, let's say, higher time frame from your 24 hours to your 1 hour. Can you also use 30 minutes and 15 minutes for directional buyers? Is it strong? Because sometimes I don't see any buyers, but then I see something on the like 30 minutes or 15 minutes price reacting from that zone. So I don't know if we can use that as our directional bias too. Although sometimes it used to fail, even though I see another 5 minute SBI within that range. I don't know if it's also a valid metric to use. Not anything.
Of this chart. Now, this is the daily time frame, right? Okay, so this can never be valid. Why is it not valid? Someone will come and take something like this and say this is sell SBI. This is invalid. Why? Because the sweep, right, is below the structural liquidity. So this can never be valid. Can never be valid, right? So there's nothing to look for on one trend on the 1 hour. You can see that we are making series of what's lower lows, lower lows, lower highs, right? So we're going to be looking for what's LTF SBI sell setups, right? So if you go down to the 5 minutes, for instance, right, what I'm going to be looking for is those bearish SBI setups, right? So you can see what's let me see what happened here. It's a value setup here. Right, but this was just a kind of up and down kind of setup, right? So it was like a type 2 kind of setup here, right? So this was what happened. Price was just playing around the zone. It was still playing. Let me check the questions. Let me check the questions. So, yes, Zoom user, it is. You can see what you said. You can ask your question now. I can't hear you. Ask the question. I don't think I heard the question. We can't hear anything. We
Stella,
can't
can you hear me?
Please, we don't have 4 minutes left.
Hello, Stella, can you hear me? Ah, oh no. Hello?
Can you hear me, please?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Mm.